É isso aí. Estamos de volta. Turno da noite. Caralho, mano. Esse jogo me deixou empolgadão. Ah, tô comido. Tá certo. Tenho só que verificar se a live foi. Vamos lá. Então a gente tem o quê? A gente conversou com uma paciente que parece estar muito doidona, mas tem alguma coisa errada. Então a gente vai tentar descobrir o que é. E tem a quest principal, que é entre no necrotério. Alguém parece estar espionando a Thelma. A gente passou aqui. A gente também conheceu um doutor. Tem que te avisado que esse jogo vai ser um jogo. Eu acho que foi aqui por cima primeiro. Ah, tá. Aqui é o Dr. Swensa. Que vai ser um jogo mais lento, no sentido de. Cara, o foco desse jogo é conversa, é trocar uma ideia com a galera, descobrir quais são os problemas, descobrir toda a lore aqui, né? A história do lugar, o que tá acontecendo. Tem esse ar de mistério, de investigação que é sensacional. Sensacional. É absolutamente sensacional. Eu tô empolgadaço. Vamos ver. Ah, aqui ó. Então a gente tem a quest principal e tem essa quest aqui em cima, ó. Andar de cima. Será que é uma quest? Ó, é pra ser aqui. Você quer mais pra cima? Olha aí, rapaz. Tem um cara lá embaixo, desconhecido. Mas deixa eu dar um bizu aqui pra ver. É, não sei. Deve ser lá embaixo. Olha aí. Essa é a enfermeira. Esse sistema da visão vampírica é sensacional. Não é limitado igual no Rise, porque enche bastante o saco. A gente não sabe quem é essa daqui.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Ok, vamos saber dela.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Eu acho que é aqui que a questão da escolha vai rolar. Porque nós temos dois problemas. Nós temos o problema com os vampiros e temos esse problema da epidemia. Se eu agir mais como um doutor, eu resolvo a epidemia, mas que fico menos vampiro, uma coisa assim. E se eu agir muito com vampiro, eu vou estar matando mais a galera que ainda não foi pego por epidemia, né?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Olha aí, hein? Nova pista sobre Milton. Tá. Milton Hooks. A profissão de Milton é medíocre entre seus colegas. Legal. Pilar. Olha! Dá pra matar ele, meu irmão. Dá pra matar o maluco. Caralho.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned. Milton is not the chatty type.
Bom. Já perguntas pessoais, não dá pra fazer nenhuma, então vamos embora.
Goodbye, Hawkins.
Legal. É legal que cada NPC, todo NPC parece ter alguma história legal pra contar. Thomas.
Damn. The pain.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No.
Ah, esse é o cara que tá
help
sofrendo
me.
de
I'm
doença
Dr.
psicológica.
Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Eu não conheço nenhuma doença que cause isso, né? Além de doença psicológica. Então... Ó, unlock. Isso aqui é a pista que a gente liberou quando a gente achou aquele documento.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury,
Ah, não. Isso aqui é
Thomas?
coisa do...
What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
É, cara, o jeito que eles mostram os poderes vampíricos estão muito
Why
legais.
lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
Pista fracassou.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole.
Então se a gente escolher errado, não escolher errado, se a gente não entender o cara,
Were you trying to
a
avoid
pista
going
não vai
back to
servir
the
pra nada.
front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Eu poderia ter conseguido uma pista a mais, eu falhei. Legal. Então coisa que é uma vez só. Você consegue a pista ou você não consegue a pista. Eu vou perder a chance de ter o máximo de XP do cara quando eu decidir morder ele. Legal. Bom saber. Tem outra pista aqui.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Legal. As 3 pistas que a gente podia conseguir foram essas. Esse cara aqui, acho que já era, hein?
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
Então o cara fica aqui pra ter as mordidinhas da mulher lá.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Tem mais uma pista pra gente conseguir aqui. Beleza.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Esse cara é um doutor, se não me engano. Padre?
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, Sora, I must
Fokaki.
apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Cara, eu adoro a dublagem desse protagonista.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Escolher fazer um vampiro inglês é clássico e é perfeito. Só por causa do jeito de falar.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Ok.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Então Clay Cox, aquele cara que a gente deixou, que a gente não mordeu, é o líder de gangue.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Não tem investigação com ele.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Tá, então ele não sabe nada sobre vampiros, provavelmente. E por isso ele não apontou a cruz.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Foi menos interessante do que eu esperava conversar com ele. Eu acho que a gente... Ah, esse é um doutor. Importante conversar com ele. Tem dois aqui. Nossa, quanta gente, cara.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
A gente não tem nada sobre ele por enquanto.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty.
Ainda não tivemos sucesso. Ciclo social. A gente não conhece o ciclo social dele. Peraí, temos... A gente não conheceu todas as pessoas aqui ainda. Será que ele tá ficando doente e eu preciso salvar ele? Se eu deixar muito, ele vai
You're not the
morrer?
first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. You're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Uma nova investigação do cidadão está disponível. Aperte. Olha! Investigação do cidadão. Aqui aparece a indicação sobre o cidadão de acordo com o distrito. Para iniciar e rastrear uma nova missão do cidadão, usando por acessar. Tem esse. Tá conectado com alguém, cara, isso daqui. Tá conectado com... Ah, eu só posso escolher um de cada vez. Mas eu acho que vou ser isso aqui. Caraca, esse jogo tá me empolgando, hein?
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Caralho.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Encatou a missão dele. E quem é ele?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Deixa nervosa.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, But over time, his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon, and it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Esse deve ser o... Ah, o cara do braço machucado.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails. not flesh and bones.
É.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Caralho.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen. As for me, what a bloody idiot.
Gostei muito desse sistema. Sério, vou dar um rolê lá fora e ver se descubro sobre essa quest. Ué.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Tá com cara disso aqui, hein?
It's locked.
Isso de chave.
It's locked.
Tem um cara ali. Será que tem passagem? Aqui por dentro? Desconhecido. Quem é o desconhecido? Ah, tá lá na frente. O Milton tá lá. Eu acho que tem um caminho pra cá, viu? Aqui. Pipa House. O que é isso?
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you.
Parece doutor.
You see, no one has claimed your body, sir. So it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir. And I thank you for your generous donation.
A cash, meu querido.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
XP, hein, Dr. Rakesh?
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Milton Hooks é aquele cara do... que a gente vai fazer uma investigação.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Deixa eu...
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
O cara vende ópio. O que é que eu posso vender? Eu não vendo nada? O que compra aqui? Bom, eu não vou vender nada que por enquanto eu não sei o que eu preciso, né? Beleza. Hã? O que tá rolando? Será que eu fiz muito rápido?
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Certo, perguntas pessoais.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No, I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Ok, vamos confrontar o fato dele estar roubando a galera.
How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the living. And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak.
Whatever your motives, you're making money by stealing from the dead. Dr. Swansea should be informed.
No offense, sir, but Dr. Swansea is one of my customers. As I told you, I like to help people, and everybody needs help from time to time.
Ficou nisso então.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Eu pretendo vir comprar mesmo. Descanse para resolver.
I cannot enter.
Pelo visto, tá dentro do hospital que era a minha quest. Olha lá, ó. 30 metros pra frente. Vamos dar uma olhada no hospital só pra gente ficar organizadinho. O Milton. Thelma, lá os dois. Ó. Vai tomar uma mordidinha. Ah, filha de Deus. Tá aqui dentro. Investigações? Como que eu investigo? Eu perdi de investigar? Será que é por aqui?
Good evening, Dr. Timmons.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Ah, não.
Goodbye, Dr.
Que
Timmons.
interessante, quer dizer que a gente pode pegar a gente fazendo coisas que, sei lá, né? O que ele tava fazendo? Pô, eu perdi. Bom, vamos trocar ideia com as pessoas que faltam aqui. Ó o Clay. Ó o Milton.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Opa!
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's
O
happened?
comportamento físico durante as conversações com os personagens está excelente também. Cada um tem seu próprio jeito de se
You left
mover,
an infected
tem
patient
identidade.
outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Caralho, a gente já catou um monte de investigação conversando com a galera. Vamos ver sobre a reputação dele.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
É justo. Olha, esse cara vai ser um cara importante. Vamos ver o que ele tem pra vender.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these
Também
days.
acho. O que esse cara tem? Uma espingarda, bala, que com certeza eu vou precisar, mas por enquanto não. Componente de gatilho, tá precisando de um desses. Será que eu tenho que comprar ou será que eu vou achar? O que ele compra? 64, eu vou comprar esse componente de gatilho. Oh, muito pouco, hein? Beleza. Falta fechar com esses caras e a gente vai partir pra missão ali. É muita gente nesse jogo, cara. É muita gente. Ah, eu já conversei com ela, se não me engano. Cuidar de sangue desconhecido. É, não, isso aqui eu já... Ah, não, essa é a moça que aquele outro cara falou que ela podia ser médica.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon.
Eu não tinha
here
conversado
at
com ela
Pembroke.
ainda.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Olha aí. A gente vai ter alguma coisa a mais pra confrontar ele. Se não me engano, ele é o... esse é o cara que disse que ela poderia ser médica se fosse homem.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Ah, essa é a nossa pista, vamos ver.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Foi só isso no fim das contas.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Muita XP essa mina vai dar quando a gente morder ela, hein? É ele, né?
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Aqui é a pista que a gente conseguiu com a moça.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
You've nothing to prove, Dr. Tippett, to anybody. And we all praise your experience. Please, have some rest.
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this job.
You're exhausting your...
No.
You've nothing to prove.
I am perfect.
Eu escolhi a resposta errada de novo. Devia ter prestado mais atenção. Faltou ter uma cor diferente pra quando fosse situações decisivas assim,
Goodbye,
sabe?
Dr. Tippett.
Aí eu penso que é só que ele vai fazer só um comentário no fim das contas. Clay, a gente descobriu que foi líder de gangue. E ele tá aqui. Fazendo o que aqui? Não devia estar aqui.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed. Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. It still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother.
Caralho.
Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favor.
Only the strongest survive, then. Survival at all costs Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. As long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
Será que vai ter um avanço no tempo?
Mr. Cox.
Certo, então vamos lá. Legal. Vamos ver o lance da mulher lá. Que eu acho que está sendo perseguida. Será que é pro lado de dentro do hospital? Não, é pra minha esquerda mesmo. Por que sumiu? Cash. Tem gente ali, ó. Ou rato, né? Cadete da Private. Tudo gente que eu vou ter que matar. Que bom. Ah, esses são os caçadores que ela achou que estavam correndo atrás dela. E talvez eles estejam aqui por ela mesmo. Oportunidade pra testar minha arma nova. E meu poder novo. Quatro. Coagulação. Não, eu vou deixar... Ah, eu não peguei, cara. Esqueci que eu não comprei ainda o meu poder novo. De invisibilidade, que eu ver se consigo, sei lá, dar um... Espaço. Coagulação.
Christ! He's dead!
legal, 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 gostei. Só que eu queria atordoar, hein? Vamos lá. Missão de inspeção. Posto de comando, assunto, atividades vampíricas, hospital, inspeção de chegar. 3 dias atrás, um dos nossos recrutas ouviu um rumor sobre a presença de um vampiro fêmea no hospital de Pembroke. Temos apenas o primeiro nome dela, Thelma. Sua missão é ir lá discretamente observar qualquer atividade suspeita relacionada a sanguessuga. Reportar diretamente para nós, então decidiremos o que deve ser feito. Cara, as pessoas realmente estão achando que ela é uma vampira. Não gostei muito dessa arma. Essa daqui. Porque... vai gastar muita... não sei, viu? Poderes vampiros têm uso limitado, pelo visto. Toque de alerta de só os sinos das igrejas serão tocados às 21. Todos os cidadãos devem circular até as 5 da manhã. Será que tem tempo que eu posso ficar? Que bagulho é esse? Scal. Nível 18. Nível 18, bicho, hein? Você foi derrotado. Você logo perceberá um pouco as coisas podem matar um vampiro. O que aconteceu? Certo. Agora entendi como é que funciona essa porra aqui. Agora entendi. Jogabilidade, esquemas, definir atalho, redefinir atalho. Que isso? Não sei se eu mexo com esse viado. Quase matei ele, na verdade. Eu que tô moscando. Ai! Agora entendi. Quanto ao recrutamento de novos botineiros em Whitechapel, acho que encontramos um. Albi, ele é um burro com uma porta mais durão. Pedi para ele provar que poderia conseguir drogas no mercado negro e ele aceitou rapidamente. Na próxima vez que nos encontrarmos, vou dizer a ele que foi aceito como um botineiro e que deve encontrar os chefes para receber ordens. Esse foi o cara que eu matei, eu acredito. Nova investigação. Tô sem poder vampiro. Tá. Nossa, quanta quest extra maneiríssimas.
There's safer places to be than here.
Eu tinha mexido aqui na durabilidade, deixa eu só mudar. Andar. Ok. Inimigo vai pro quê?
Oi! Didn't you hear me? It's a leech!
Posso correr? Certo. Tá difícil, hein? Bom. Tô começando a aprender, né? Não gostei muito do esquema arma-pistola. Mas agora tô começando também a entender o valor do vigor, cara, pra combate físico. Se eu for investir em combate físico, eu vou precisar de mais vigor. A pistola é boa no sentido de poder destruir os caras só no tiro, né? Mas então eu vou ter que mudar aqui meu esquema. Porque se na mão principal eu posso mudar isso aqui e não vai adiantar, eu preciso botar mão principal 2. Caso eu mudar aqui, ele muda os dois. Vou lá descansar. Aproveitar para subir uns níveis. Caralho, sempre era essa porra. Tem uma coisa que eu podia fazer. Ah, eu tinha comprado uma melhoria pra pistola. Falta mais um componente de gatilho. Posso melhorar isso. Componente comum e minúsculo de empunhadura. Bastão de chumbo, faca de chumbo. Nossa, mas é muita arma diferente que eu vou conseguir. Certo. Será que se eu morder muita gente ele começa a... Cara, isso aqui parece ser legal, hein? Custo nenhum. Olha, ele vai melhorando legal, hein? 2 segundos e meio de atordoamento. Não entendi. Mas eu quero fazer o teste. Pelo menos o primeiro poder de tudo eu vou pagar, né? Pra testar. Tenho 300, acho que eu vou aumentar alguma coisa. Cara, quanto você aumenta a sua vida, aumenta seu vigor. Isso aqui parece importante. Eu acho que vou aumentar minha vida aqui, vai. Ah, tá. Isso aqui só vai aumentar geral. O que eu consigo aumentar aqui? Quanto que eu preciso? De 500. Vou aumentar uma passiva aqui, foda-se. Eu não preciso de muita magia diferente. Acho que vou aumentar. Certo. A gente vai voltar a matar aqueles caçadores lá. Mensagem do doutor. Querido Jonathan, pedi à enfermeira clínica providenciar um escritório para você no segundo andar. Por favor, releve as decorações simples do hospital. Eu preciso dormir um pouco antes de voltar ao trabalho. Afinal, sou mega mortal. Também pedi para deixar descansar. Certo. Seguinte. Eu já volto. Preciso dar um pulo no banheiro. Tô de volta. Deixa eu arrumar aqui o celular. Aqui. Bom. Vamos lá. Será que eu tenho um teleporte rápido? Eu tô aqui, né? Outro esconderijo. Turno da noite. Se eu clicar aqui... Certo, vamos remover. Botão direito faz o quê? Eu volto. Quero fazer essa quest secundária primeiro. E eu falando do cara. Carta amassada, será que é alguma coisa? Pra pagar a taxa. Taxa? Cobrada para motorista de ambulância, hein? Não se preocupe com nada além de sua própria saúde. Estou cuidando de tudo. Perguntei para alguns vizinhos e eles me disseram que o Sr. Hooks até que é um vigarista honesto. Ele pede dinheiro extra em troca de uma cama, mas a cama estará mesmo garantida. Desculpa por ter recusado a pagar grandes, agora percebo que o importante é que você melhore logo. Ouvi dizer que o Hospital Pembroke é um bom lugar, apesar da atitude duvidosa desse Milton Hooks. Prometo que tudo está certo agora, verei você em sua cama limpa assim que possível. Nicole. Olha aí, Sr. Hooks. Sr. Hooks. Estado, distrito grave. Eu tinha subido ali, mas eu vou tentar ir pra esquerda ali principal, não vou aguentar com esses caras. Ou vou gastar muita bala. Só que bala é um só, né? Ah, mas eu tenho justamente que matar esses caras. Meu Deus. Ah, eu tô com o poderzinho novo, hein? Como que funciona? Qual que é? Eu não equipei o poderzinho novo. Vamos ver aqui. 4. Tá, vamos ver se eu consigo. Não posso passar despercebido. Será que eu ganho XP? Testar esse botão direito aqui. Não funcionou esse botão direito, hein? Eu deveria defletir o ataque. É com o sangue dos cidadãos. Puta merda, hein? Aqui não deu muito certo. Tô sem bala. É, o esquema aqui não deu certo. Cartucho 2 não adianta muito, né? Vou precisar de outra arma. Ai, tô perdido na vida aqui. Será que agora eu consigo usar minha magia?
It's closed.
Caralho, mano. O jeito de mudar os alvos aqui ficou muito ruim. Muito ruim. É, eu acho que eu vou ter que... Vamos ver outra quest pra ver? A gente pode fazer aqui pra depois. Entre no jardim do quintal. Ingredientes de falta. Vamos ver isso aqui. Ver se a gente consegue uma XP. Hã? Aqui. Se a gente achar o Hulk, a gente pode confrontar ele também. Ver se a gente ganha alguma coisa. É, meu irmão. A gente vai ter que... dar um jeito, hein? Vamos ter que morder algum carcamano. E aí? Quem é você?
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. We've taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. so I couldn't go after him.
Certo.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Certo, Milton deu pra gente uma quest, mas a gente vai deixar pra lá por enquanto. Não consigo passar por lá, talvez seja por dentro do hospital. E aqui?
It's locked.
Ah, aqui foi onde a gente encontrou o cara, o chefe de gangue. Certo, vamos tentar chegar então lá por dentro do hospital, ver se a gente consegue. Tem alguém ali que a gente não consegue falar.
It's locked, all right. Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant.
Deixa eu sair
I'll leave you,
porque ela eu vou falar
Mistress
com ela
of the
de novo
Dark,
quando a gente
to
fechar
your
o...
nocturnal activities.
Bom, por aqui é um caminho que pode ser que seja, tá? A gente não tem o caminho pra ir pra lá. Ou tem aqui. Opa! Tem duas quests. A quest principal, que é o necrotério. Esse pai vai fazer porque precisa muito de XP. E tem a quest pra cá.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Cara. E XP? É muito pouca XP que ganha matando esses caras. Muita pouca XP. Combate não é uma coisa que realmente dá lucro. Eu mudo de... Caramba, hein? Quanto XP eu ganhei? Muito pouco XP. Você ganha XP por investigação e por diálogo. Mas o XP que você ganha matando é muito pouco. Realmente o jogo não tá te favorecendo. O combate não é um lance mesmo. Eu acho que não compensa ficar entrando em combate por entrar, tá ligado? Acontece, eu usar ali. Ah, tá. Só pra recuperar a vida mesmo.
It's locked.
Cara, tudo me leva pra lá. Tá. Vamos pra quest principal. Vamos pra quest. Vou dar uma olhada aqui. É. Gripe. Tá, vamos fazer a quest principal lá então. Uma fotografia de um casal feliz com as palavras escritas: Milton e Pipa para sempre.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Certo, necrotério. Vamos ver. Certo, tem alguma coisa errada com esse lugar. Certo, em cima. Em cima.
It's locked, all right.
Não entendi. Precisa ser grosso. Certo, é tudo lá em cima e um lá embaixo. Que marca de sangue é essa? Que tá andando junto. Será porque tem uma peste em cima? Que é isso? Qual que é a marca que tá andando comigo? Será porque eu tô perto de uma quest? Deve ser porque tá no andar de cima.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Encontre líderes medicinais utilizáveis. Muito legal ter esse vermelho de sangue.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Vindo lá de baixo, velho, me pegar. Espingarda. A ambientação tá bacana.
It's locked. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Vou continuar subindo. Eu sei que a missão vai ser pro porão. Nada aqui. Nada aqui. Alguém?
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. Cannot I get?
Correr, esquivar, andar, desativar. Ativa a trava, desativa a trava. Atirar. Consumível. Abre menu. Quero muito testar esse negócio aí. fui muito com a cara dessa arma. O que eu vou fazer vai ser o seguinte. Eu vou... mão principal. Aqui eu vou deixar para... alterar, botar facão. Aqui. Porque daí eu vou trocar entre essas duas. Essa daqui parece ser importante. Um scal. Outro lado da sala. Escritório médico regista, Samuel Connor, raça. Pescador, prova causa da morte, pneumonia de progressão rápida causada por constelação pulmonar e origem viral, gripe espanhola. Personalizando, Dr. Concoran, Tippets, enfermeira Brannigan, Tippets.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. It's locked.
Faca Liston, absorção de sangue. Você tem um novo tipo de arma de mão oposta. Equipe e aperta para absorver sangue diretamente. Eu tô achando que vai ficar no lugar dessa daqui. Hugo Calcorne, obrigado pelo follow, cara, seja muito bem-vindo ao canal. Temos um scal ali, deixa eu dar uma olhada aqui antes. Bom, essa faca é bom pra conseguir sangue. Eu acho que não preciso beber, morder a pessoa pra conseguir.
so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Realmente, cara, a XP que eu tô ganhando aqui é mínima.
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Olha, eu tô podendo fazer soro. Recupera exatamente os pontos de vida depois, mais 150. Ah não, eu preciso levar os parados. Cara, meu pai vai gastar esse negócio aqui. Analisar. Olha aí. Melhorar esse facão. Aumenta o consumo em 10% ou reduz o consumo de vigor em 10%. Acho que o dano. Tá, cada vez que eu mudo, facão comum. Serra vigor 20. Reduz o consumo de vigor, absorve pontos de sangue a cada golpe da arma. Estojo de cigarros. Certo. Bom, com isso eu preciso subir. Cara, eu precisava muito de uma... ainda tem nego aqui. Precisava muito... recuperar a vida. G. Fez diferença. Ah, eu preciso fabricar o tratamento para fadiga. É por isso que eu tô aqui. Só que eu acabei fazendo merda, né? Eu acabei fazendo merda. Fadiga. Solução de hipoclorito de sódio. Tem como reciclar pra conseguir um negócio desse? Mano, eu ferrei muito a parada aqui. Solução de blá 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 blá. Bom, talvez não esteja aqui ainda, né? Eu tenho que subir ali em cima pra conseguir. Aí. Solução. Aí. metros. Eu acho que é isso. Eu posso fabricar em qualquer lugar, então não precisa ser aqui. Eu vou voltar lá pro... E aí, Josito? Não muita coisa, cara. Eu morri bastante, mas tá normal. Munição extra ser armazenada no estoque. Certo, vamos aqui pro hospital. Vamos fazer a fabricação da paradinha. Chique o casacão, né? Foi um carinha que me deu. Eu acho que esse é o casaco único do jogo. Não sei se vai ter mais pra usar. Cadê? Onde é que a gente fabrica as coisas? Aqui. A solução para fadiga, pneumonia, bronquite, resfriado. Deixa eu ter certeza, tô viajando aqui. Fadiga, isso mesmo. Mano, epidemia, né, velho? Tudo morto. Se você fabricar uma, eu posso fabricar mais uma. Foda-se. Ah não, mas já vinham duas, pô. Não precisava ter fabricado mesmo. Crane. Então eu posso levar pra Crane e eu sei que tem o líder da gangue. Também tem um problema de fadiga, dá pra curar o negócio dele. Se curar, ele vai voltar a ser o líder da gangue, pelo que eu tô suspeitando. Para Crane. Gente que eu não conheço. Ó, gente nova aparecendo. Tranquilo, cara. Fica à vontade. Ó, tem um maluco novo aqui. Ah, Crane. Ó, o Clay. Tratamento pra fadiga. Qual uma ideia com ele?
Hey, Doc.
Doenças. Aperte para verificar o quadro clínico. Curar um cidadão aumentará a qualidade de sangue. Fornecer uma recompensa extra ao estado de saúde do distrito irá melhorar.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way.
É verdade, porque eu vou morder você depois.
Also, weaknesses that can be exploited.
Certo, vamos ver qual é dele agora. Ó, a qualidade do sangue tá melhor. Se eu liberar mais um aqui... Ah, tem mais esse. Eu mato esse maluco. Em recuperação.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Please, I feel sick. Get over here now.
Ah, é um maluco dentro do lugar. Esse maluco aqui, quem é? Ah, esse eu acho que a gente vai conhecer agora. Cadê? Tá que você não para quieto, hein, mulher? Só parei pra trocar uma ideia com o cara. Como é que eu vejo? Como é que eu vejo o que tá acontecendo lá? Ah,
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Rick.
Goodbye for...
Oh, sweet girl. Sweet like a book.
Como é que eu espiono o maluco? Investiga o cidadão.
Good evening, Doctor. And Goodbye, Doctor.
Não sei como fazer a investigação lá. Investigue.
As for me.
Aí, acabou quando eu cheguei. Deixa eu entregar a quest.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Sangue do cidadão, trata-se com remédio adequado. Vai com o paciente no quarto atrás e verifica o quadro clínico dele. Certo.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Vou trocar uma ideia com essa mulher.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Vamos usar nosso poder vampírico nela.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Olha só, hein, Pifa Hawkins.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Certo. É, eu acho que a gente só tem isso mesmo. Bom, a gente descobriu que tá rolando uma corrupção por aqui.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Fadiga. Eu tenho como curar ele.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest then.
Good evening, sir.
Ô, caralho.
Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
Vamos lá. Vamos forçar ele a responder.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Pergunta pessoal.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Beleza. Então vamos pro check-up médico.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Certo, agora que eu perguntei, será que ele vai responder?
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful.
Certo, então por enquanto ele não tá respondendo. Então, é que o cara é um médico e aí ele tava no campo de batalha e acabou por ser transformado num vampiro. Então ele tem que curar as pessoas, mas ao mesmo tempo ele precisa morder elas, tá ligado? Certo, deixa eu ver qual é desses caras. Temos esse, temos que achar um amigo. Cadê esses do... Aqui. Em recuperação, olha só, hein? Questão tal, beleza. Esse tá em recuperação e esse tá em recuperação que eu dei o remédio. Olha, esse daqui só falta mais um pra eu catar ele, hein? Esse aqui eu acho que já dá pra levar pra vala, hein? Certo, acho que eu vou trocar uma ideia. Aqui ali eu não consigo. Quem é que eu tinha achado uma parada? Era o... Lembre-se, o sangue do cidadão consegue o mesmo. Procure por cidadãos do seu mesmo nível de enfeitiçar ou inferior, escolha com cuidado. Ainda não. Ainda não, quero fechar a quest da Thelma. E aí eu vou catar ela. Vamos falar com o maluco aqui. Então, até agora eu tô achando que sim.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
E se eu ficar mordendo a galera, eu vou atrair a atenção de caçadores de vampiros.
In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Tá, então a última pessoa que falta de conversar nessa região. Bom, deixa eu aproveitar pra trocar uma ideia com ele. Então não parei de conversar com ele.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
But to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings in the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
How do Skulls come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skull?
A Skull is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
Certo. É isso.
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
Bom. Vamos trocar uma ideia então com a senhora. Que eu acho que é justamente o lugar que a gente não tava conseguindo ir.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Era vampiro que ele tinha encontrado?
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Sério, não quer que a gente mate o...
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Please continue. Every detail is essential.
Gostei desse...
I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Excuse my impertinence, Your Ladyship. This is not an interrogation. I assure you that this line of questioning is in your best interest.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Certo. Tem umas perguntas que eu não fiz que eu vou ver se tem
Is our little mystery.
I think of...
My situation is...
Certo. Então, nós temos... Ela suspeita que algum paciente... Porra, esse quer me foder, né, meu? Aí você quer me foder, né, meu?
Is our little mystery.
I think of...
My situation...
Isso, isso. Aí você quer me foder, né, meu?
Is our little mystery...
I think of nothing else, my lady.
My situation...
Ah, vá se fuder, meu Deus. Então, vampiros são a mesma coisa.
Is our little mystery...
I think of...
My situation...
Ah, consegui. Puta, Jesus abençoado. Esse cara aqui. Bom, como eu ia dizendo, eu acho que algum paciente aqui é que tá... chantageando ela. Sinceramente, quem que teria culhões pra fazer isso? Não, tamo de volta. Tamo de volta. Bugou legal, meu, hein? Bad. Tava jogando de monstro, né, viado? Tenho certeza jogando de monstro. Se for matou todo mundo, devia estar jogando de monstro. Pipa Hawkins é a fofoqueira.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Tinha uma parada.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings within the hospital?
I don't have time for such nonsense, Doctor. I've work to do.
Blackmail is a serious matter, Nurse Hawkins.
Everything is serious around here, Dr. Reed. Starting with patients who need me.
Tá
Are
bem
you
evasiva.
certain? You seem nervous.
If you have something in mind, just speak up, Doctor. Otherwise, stop breathing down my neck.
Sério, vou precisar de pistas sobre ela então.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Fofoqueira do caralho. Cadê o maluco do... Eu tô querendo achar aquele maluco do... Hawkins. Isso mesmo, descoberto uma parada louca dele. Aquele que é casado.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
There are a lot of secrets round here. I'm not surprised someone tried to make money from them.
What kind of secrets?
I'm not in the gossip business, Dr. Reed. If you want to know more, you better talk to Harriet Jones. She's the oldest patient here.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Certo.
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
Admit it. Nurse Hawkins is more than your lover. She's also your partner in crime.
Of course she is. How else could I tell which bed is free? I need to know that.
Have you no shame?
Don't you see this city is crumbling down? Today people are ready to pay to get a hospital bed. Tomorrow we may be fighting for food.
É... Só falta mais uma. Só falta mais uma pergunta pra gente lidar com...
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed.
Gatilho, eu queria uma. Com isso eu vou poder melhorar minha arma. Cadê a enfermeira que eu acabei de conversar? De repente... Olha como tá aumentando o XP dele pra eu curar ele. Depois eu... Vamos ver o que mais que eu tenho de novo aqui. Pipa Hawkins. Certo, eu vou tentar usar isso daqui contra ela pra ver se eu consigo as informações. Tippets. Tinha alguma coisa sobre o Tippets que eu descobri também. Não é, cara, é que é um jogo... É super sobre diálogo, sobre investigação. É, não. Só isso daqui.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Beleza, não era o Tippets.
Goodbye, Doc.
Não era o Tippets. Quem era? Pipa Hawkins. A gente acabou de resolver uma treta, vamos ver se ela...
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes. Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital, Pippa. Are you his accomplice?
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of being useful? By abusing the sick and poor?
No. It is my definition of getting out of this useless life once and for all.
Why do you do it?
Why not? Most of the sick who paid for a bed are already dead, or will be soon. Don't you see the futility of all this?
How can you be affected by the misery around you, and be so heartless at the same time? Which is the real you, Nurse Hawkins?
I could ask you the same question, Dr. Reed. Are you more real when you lie to a dying patient, or when you grant him useless medication?
Whose idea was it?
What difference does it make? We did it together, and I'm guilty as charged.
Answer my question.
It was my idea first, even though Milton would say it was his, to protect me.
Certo.
Have you heard of any
I don't have time for some...
Certo, ele ainda não vai responder.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Ente descoberto. Quem era? Opa! Tá podendo entrar aqui. Quem é você?
What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Certo, tem que falar com as enfermeiras. Eu não consigo
Miss
falar
Jones.
antes, né?
Again?
Now, I need to ask you a few simple questions.
Well...
Have you noticed any suspicious comings or goings?
It would be a great deal easier to make a list of things unsuspicious in this house of charlatans.
Everyone here is very capable. I have not seen any instances of unprofessionalism.
Thieves and murderers, the lot. People have gone missing here, you know. Poof, without a trace.
Come now, Miss Jones. Surely it's not that bad.
Have you no eyes? This hospital accepts all manner of souls, regardless of origin. The proper sick cannot heal. We're kept sickened by the refugees.
If you could just tell me why you were admitted.
It's terrible, Doctor. What with a pain in my chest, coughing up blood, and I get awfully tired. Wouldn't be so bad if I hadn't lost my house and all.
I see.
No one comes to visit, you know. Not even my own flesh and blood.
I'll come and visit you shortly. Good night, Miss Jones.
Certo, vamos falar com as enfermeiras.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
E aí, Pipa, vai falar agora?
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening.
What can you tell me about...
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
She She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
Certo. A Pipa não nos deu nada de interessante. Vamos encontrar as outras enfermeiras. Essa mulher aqui, ela acha que é uma vampira.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Não avancei muito não, viu? Ah, deixa eu ver se descobriu uma coisa nova.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Certo, ninguém tá me falando
Goodbye, nurse.
nada.
Call me if you need assistance.
Vou precisar de algum esquema pra poder fazer com que elas falem comigo. Cadê a lazarenta da Crane? Ela tá bem longe. Tá fazendo o que por ali? Aí ó, eu aperto, esse negócio não vai. Será que eu tenho que ficar segurando? Aí.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
Não, cara, tô na primeira região ainda.
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Certo, a enfermeira vazou. Será que a gente vai encontrar ela? Porra. E eu ia ficar tão contente se eu conseguisse morder ela pra ganhar XP. Não sei, mano. Eu tô só na primeira região. Deixa eu ver aqui, ó. Eu tô nessa região do hospital. Agora eu tô nas docas. Cara, eu tô aqui, ó. Eu tô na região do hospital. Aí aqui tem as docas. Tem a doca oeste, doca norte, West End, Whitechapel. Deve ser tudo isso aqui. Mas até agora esse é o mapa. Eu não saí do hospital, cara. Até agora. Desde que eu comecei, tô umas 4 horas aqui.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him.
Certo. E esse barulho? Vampiro aqui? Sangue recente.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Caralho. Porra, mas é... muita bagunça, não? Esse cara me fudeu. Certo. Deixa eu voltar aqui em cima. Só pra eu conseguir explorar melhor. Não, eu tô fazendo... Eu acho que não é tão grande assim, cara. Eu tô fazendo as extras também. Mas até agora é extra eu só consegui fazer uma. Porque o lugar que me levava a quest principal... Porrete farpado. Certo. Esses poderes vampíricos são sensacionais. Caminha pra lá. Mas acho que eu vou pra cá. Foda-se. Salvar cidadão. Cuidado. A cidadão em perigo pode não sobreviver mais uma noite. Quem? Salve o homem em pânico. Olha aí, cara. Ah, era a quest pra salvar o maluco. Achei ele. Cara, essa câmera aqui. Ah, eu curto porque eu só adoro história, cara. Eu adoro uma história bem contada. Investigação é chato quando não é bem contada, né? Mas quando é... Olha aí, deixa eu achar o cara, pelo menos.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay. Okay, I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton sent me to help you. Do you remember him?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Não tenho perguntas. Certo.
Are you sure you're all right, sir?
Yes. Yes, I'll be. As soon as I can see the sky again.
Ué? Não tem esse tratamento. Cá tem alguma coisa. Ah, saída. Vamos voltar. Então a gente vem daqui. Tem um skull ali. Os estudiosos, é verdade que na maioria das vezes eles são corteses e avisados quando ele fala conosco, mas não seria nada prudente que nosso círculo tão discreto da casa Ascalon passasse a falar aos quatro ventos sobre nossos objetivos, membros e tradições. Gostaria de lembrar aos membros que a Irmandade é muito antiga e eles podem ter muitos segredos misteriosos. Segundo alguns informantes, um desses segredos é o ritual chamado Banimento do Dragão. Parece que em certas situações, quando os irmãos de São Paulo encontram um imortal violento ou com sede de sangue, eles executam esse banimento. Do que se trata exatamente? Não sei. Será que existe de verdade? Também não sei ao certo, mas o que sabemos de fato é que sempre que um vampiro vingativo ou hostil ameaçava Londres, ele desaparecia sem deixar rastros após a Irmandade pronunciar um banimento contra ele. Nem mesmo nosso leal colega Fergal Bancha nunca se atreveu a provocar abertamente a Irmandade. Precisamos lembrar dessa lição. Nunca podemos ser considerados dragões pela Irmandade. De a lei de Ascalon. Banimento. Esse aqui é sangue recente. Boss.
What sort of creature is this?
Caramba, velho. Essa porra dessa arma aqui me pegou. Ele demora pra carregar, você tem 6 tiros e é isso, cara. Então Tomara que eu volte aqui. Três de 3. Tem 6 tiros aqui então. Caralho. Ah, eu tenho essa recuperação de vida aqui. Vamos lá.
What sort of creature is this?
Isso, cara?
Here's what's left of him. Not a lot to check, but I should anyway.
Vale... Enfermeira Queen, cara. Se você estiver doente e não tiver dinheiro, seja você quem for, onde quer que esteja, venha falar com Doroteia para receber ajuda, sem truques, sem custos, sem perguntas. Apenas vá até a casa de Darius Petrescu e apresente esse cupom.
Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel.
What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Não tava contando com você, hein? Cadê o ratinho? Vem, ratinho. Ratinho. Cadê o ratinho que tava aqui? Isso. Meu Deus, os caras resetaram tudo, mano. Bom, uma das enfermeiras então estava cobrando para pelas internações e ela fugiu. Caramba, hein? A questão é se é ela que estava fazendo a chantagem contra a nossa amiga vampira também, né? A gente vai precisar descansar. Ele tá cheio de XP, estamos com 3.000 de XP. E vai ser nossa recuperação. Você já se recuperou? Eu acho que ele tá inteirão, hein? Não, tem recuperação ainda. Opa! Posso vir por aqui. Não dava pra vir por aqui antes. Deixa eu dar uma olhada nas melhorias. Certo, eu tenho 2 desses. Eu posso fazer desse. Resfriado, fadiga eu tenho. 2, se eu não me engano. Tinha um remédio que eu precisava fazer. Apesar que eu não posso fazer nenhum, só aquele. Vamos ver se consigo melhorar minhas armas. Esse aqui que eu gosto de usar. Consigo melhorar? Não. Cadê a pistola? Consigo melhorar a pistola. Dano. Tempo de recarga, não. Acho que dano. Beleza. Eu não posso aumentar mais. Certo. Isso aqui é bom. Se eu aumentar mais... Certo. Deixa eu ver o que eu tenho aqui. Você pode carregar 3 soldos, número de balas. Isso aqui parece ser bom. Eu vou querer pelo menos um de cada, né? Quero testar isso aqui, cara. Essas aqui são passivas. Esse aqui é um ataque em área. Custo 20. Mil, cara. Eu vou pagar. Na verdade é só pra eu ter o primeiro poderzinho. Não deu. Que é pra gente ter o que testar, né? Porque depois acho que eu vou ficar investindo nisso aqui, viu? Depois que eu decidir a build. 300. Grandes eventos do distrito. Toda noite, as consequências das ações podem melhorar ou piorar o estado de saúde do distrito. Elas também podem piorar devido a doenças disseminadas dos cidadãos. Grandes eventos do distrito. Quanto mais você matar, mais insalando fica um distrito. Se o estado de saúde do distrito ficar abaixo do limite crítico, a situação fica caótica. Você diz, nossa. Eu curei esses dois, não foi? Cefaleia. Caramba. Adoro até o pilar disso aqui, cara. Não sei, cara. E aqui é as docas. St. Hampson é o pilar das docas. Remédio pra fadiga. Eu consigo curar esse cara. Eu tenho um remédio, mas eu tinha 4. Aqui só falta isso e cefaleia. Não sei. Certo. Cefaleia. Fadiga, resfriado, bronquite, anemia. Eu nem tenho. Calma aí, eu não tenho remédio pra fadiga? Eu devia ter. Agora eu tenho. Quantas pessoas precisam de remédio pra fadiga? Cefaleia. Só ele. Esse eu não sei. Se pau, vou dar uma passada curar esse maluco. Bom, na verdade, eu acho que vou ter que dar uma encerrada. Já são 5 horas de gameplay. Vai ficar pra amanhã. Falou. Falou, Bad. Vai ficar pra amanhã, cara. Duvido que vai voltar ainda hoje. Mas, sinceramente, eu gostei. Que jogão, hein? Sair.